She's feeling frisky today, kids. It is Wednesday. It is hump day. OMG. G for God, honey. G for gorgeous. G for glamour gowns, which are coming soon. G for, God damn, I look good. All right, let's get into it. Hello, world. Come inside the Dear Juju podcast. How are ya? Now, I absolutely love the 1960s vibe of the big bouffants on top of the head. So I have one, but honey, she's a little, there we go. She needs to scooch over a little bit. She's a little bit clipped on, and I need to get one that actually goes in a little bit more because the rat's nest, she a tilting. And I could just see me having 2 or 3 drinks and her going just off kilter and giving it away. If you're watching along, see this huge bruise? My son kicked me and I blocked it and it went right on the bone. And I have this huge bruise, by the way. Oh my God, do you see this new robe? Do ya? See it. From the 1960s, and this is why I buy vintage. This black and white pattern is so gorgeous, you're not going to see it anywhere else. And then it's got a little fur. Now, here's the thing. My glamour gowns, I know you're all probably expecting feathers, right? The ostrich feathers are so expensive to get, to cut, to create. It would have put the gown in the thousands. And I'm just I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? It's not worth it, even though I love ostrich feathers so much. They're so me. When you think of ostrich feathers, think of Juju. But we just couldn't. So until I find a way that I can produce it and it being, not astronomical, we're just going to keep it simple and classic. We're about a month away. It is final. Some of these things, oh my God, they're just going to be one of a kind, bespoke, beautiful. You're just going to love them. They're going to be timeless pieces just like you. So that was very exciting. I got my labels done. And let me tell you, I put so much into everything I do, right? So the label has a border and then it has another border and then it has little stars and then the font and then the colors. It's just when you own your own business, so much goes into every single detail that you don't see. It's wild. I got this at Pickwick. If you're ever in LA, if you ever visit LA, look up Pickwick Vintage or a current affair and time your travel to coming to those. Number 1, best vintage in the world, period. I stand by this. I've been to Paris. I've been to Barcelona. I've been to Buenos Aires. I've been to Japan. I've been to all the places that have amazing vintage. Pickwick Vintage and a current affair have the best vintage in the world, period. The end. You know what we say, paragraph. First of all, people watching, so much fun. Secondly, I'll fucking see you there, me and you, okay? We're going to shop. Thirdly, stuff that you will have in your closet, you'll keep for forever. You'll feel like main character energy. It's just the best shopping in the world. It really is. So in other news, the kids have started school, thank God. Hallelujah. Oh, we need a little sound bite here. The kids have started school. Enter in an angel soundbite. Lord. Now I've stopped drinking. I was like, okay, when the kids are home for summer, mama was drinking a lot. Honey, she is puff mama. So I was like, okay, the kids are back at school. I need to cut the drinking. I have more time to myself. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have till 3:30, 4 o'clock. What a dream. What a dream. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I still got my Georgiana because I'm spending time with my baby. But yes, for now, the kids are back and mama has gone sober until Saturday. Okay? Now, every once in a while, I love music. I love talking about what I'm into. You guys, Chapel Roan, obsessed. Then I find out she's a Pisces and I'm like, bitch. Now, if you don't know who I'm talking about, she's an artist that is popping. Okay. She is taking over. Her sound is so unique. I love it. It's giving very Cyndi Lauper, but done right, done for this new modern twist. It is so good. HOTTOGO. You can take your heart to go. Love that she has little choreography. And Adele said on her stage, she was like, there was an artist that I just found out about, though she's an overnight success shooting star, She has been doing this for 7 years. And once again, it gave me oomph. It gave me vivaciousness. I was like, let's go. Because an overnight success, though people don't know, take years to get to. And I'm just sitting here patiently waiting. So that's who I'm so into right now. I love her song, Hot to Go, Red Wine Supernova, Good Luck, Babe. Like the whole thing is just great. Top to bottom, the visuals, love, obsessed, 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 obsessed. Now, I did see also in related news, Whitney Houston singing the national anthem in 1991. If you need to see it, type it up on YouTube right now. She's in kind of like a white jogger. She's got a headband on. She goes into her chinny chin, okay? And she looks fabulous and flawless and fierce doing it. Very effortless because, honey, the voice is speaking. And I just, I'm sure everybody thinks this, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, that they're like, our singers were the best. Well, compared to Gen Z singers as a whole, I'm sorry, but MC Hammer, you can't touch us. Okay, you can't touch this. Exhibit A, Mariah. Okay. Whitney, Christina, Celine. I don't think in any generation you can find the pop stars that actually made it into those kind of vocals. Period. But then you add people kind of like Adele. She's also in the millennials kind of come up. She's a little bit on the later end. But it's just like, you can't touch that. We had singers. We had belters. We had the vocals. Am I right? Okay? This brat, this espresso, this rotten right to the car. Like, okay. And, it's very like giving pop star. It's not giving belters. Like, if you want to go toe to toe, you can't mess with us and what we grew up with. Period. Not with the vocals, not with the pop stars. Sorry. But Chappell Roan, she is giving me vocals that are doing things, pulling back. I actually watched a review of a singing coach singing about how she's actually using her voice in very interesting ways and how it's different and how it's reminiscent of old times, but giving something new and fresh. And I'm sorry, Chappell Roan's birthday is one day away from mine, so she's giving theater. Okay. Theater. She's giving performance. She's giving show. She's giving camp. A little bit Lady Gaga-esque. It is. I love her. I'm obsessed. So that's my music roundup, and I can't carry a tune if it was in a bucket with a lid on it. Okay? This is just my humble opinion of the stars. And a star really gets you in your guts. Either with their notes, with their writings, with their lyrics, with their tunes, with their performance, with what they're projecting. And that's what you got to get them. You got to get them at their guts. Moving on, last but not least, I went to a Greek restaurant, okay? Deme, I don't know, Deme. It was bomb in downtown LA. And let me tell you, we ordered a bunch of all these dips. And one of the dips was whipped ricotta with honey, and it was smooth and whipped. And I literally looked at the waitress and I said, I don't know why they put whipped cream in the bedroom, honey. They should be putting this whipped ricotta. I want it all over my body. Holy frickin' guacamole. Next time you get ricotta, try putting it in the food processor, which will incorporate air but also smooth out those little clumps for like 5 minutes. Take it, put it down, put some honey. I like rosemary as well on top of it. Serve it as a dip on like a charcuterie board. Oh, I said whipped ricotta. I'm about to put that on my nipples. This is amazing. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with whipped ricotta. And that's going to take us straight into, it's time for some domestic goddessness. Let's get into it. First, cooking. Stone fruit season is almost over. First, make that ricotta that I just said. So what you need to do is you need to get you some grilled peaches. Because, honey, what we're going to make right now is burrata, grilled peaches, and basil. Ooh. I just made this weekend as a goodbye summer. You had fun. It's time for sexy time to kind of snatch it up. Then you take these peaches, you take out the pit, you slice them, then you grill them First, just with a little olive oil, okay, on a pan. Very easy. You don't need to fire up the grill for some peaches. A little too delicate too. Do it on either side. And then when you're ready to flip them and they get browned, add a little more olive oil and add some balsamic vinegar. The balsamic will reduce a little bit. It is so good. Then you plate them and put them in a little like fan, if you will, in a circle. Then put a gorgeous piece of burrata on top, rip some basils, and then take all of that balsamic that was in the pan and drizzle it on top. Oh, that with a glass of Lambrusco, that's really all I needed. I could have had some chicken and salad after that. It was so good and such a good like aperitivo to get the appetite started. So in cocktail news, there is a French herbal liqueur called Genepi. Now this bottle is beautiful. It uses really robust herby flavors on the palate. And you know, I love to bust on the palate, okay? And it's really good to add to your bar. So you can add sparkling wine to it. You can add gin to it. You know, these are things that I love. So what I really like to use it in is like a gin, lemon juice, simple syrup, some Genepi, and some bitters. Okay, this is what I had at the restaurant. It was so divine, so good, so clean on the palate too. I really feel like if you're going to sit down and start a meal and need a good cocktail to kind of start the juices flowing, you can serve it in a Nick and Nora cup. I love Genepi. I like a lot of things that are very versatile in my home bar because I'm not just trying to have one thing and go, oh, I can only make that cocktail. Great. So Genepi is something you could use it in a white Negroni. You could use it in a gin cocktail, like I just said, or a sparkling wine cocktail. So they sell it at Total Wine & More. So go to Total Wine & More and ask them for Genepi. And if the people look at you cross-eyed, say it's an herbed French liqueur. Then they can send you down to the herbs liqueur sections. Try it next time you're in there. It's only $25 and is so versatile. Perfect for an at-home bar, and you're going to love the label. Decor. Oh, you guys get ready for this. The newest trend is fridge-scaping. What do you think? Are you into it? Now, I am not talking, which is what I do sometimes, beautiful bowls to put your, chilled cherries in. You get the egg crate from Anthropology to put your eggs in so it looks very like farmhousey vibe so that when you open your door, everything looks beautiful and you reach for it. That I love and I do. People are now putting picture frames, tchotchkes, notes, fairy lights in the fridge. In the fridge. A note. Yeah, the only note that I need in my fridge is, Dear Juju, don't fucking eat the cake, you fat bitch. Now, that's a note that should be framed, put on, and punch me in the face when I open the fridge. But yeah, people are putting things, it's called fridge-scaping. It's the new trend everywhere. I thought, ooh, this is interesting. We got to talk about this. Here's my take on it. Beautify everything, right? But what's next? We're going to put tchotchkes on the toilet. Like, where are we? Are we toilet scaping? Like, how far are we going to take this scaping situation? Nobody sees the fridge but you. And yes, it's important to you dress up for you and you do you. But I really think a place that could use some scaping that people aren't is desks. Right? Like, make your desk beautiful. Make sure you add flowers, add candles. I added to my desk these rose flowers in this big, tall vase. And let me tell you, my work, when I sat down to work, felt very creative, very lovely. Make sure you're beautifying your desk because that's something where you can sit down and give your best to your work and your creativity and kind of be in a world that you've created. But a fridge, you open it, you grab something, you close it. You can do a candle, you could do flowers, you could do a frame. Make sure your mat for your computer or keyboard is really lovely. Make sure even they sell gold tape dispensers. They sell gold frickin' what's it called? Staplers. Make sure your Post-it notes look cute. Make sure you have little stickers that say, great job, bitch. Like, scape that. Let's desk scape so that we can sit down and be our most creative and beautiful self. Also, if you have a vanity, scape that. Like, scape places that you're going to sit down, take in, and enjoy. A fridge is open and closed. For me, it's a little bit of a waste of escape, right? And I love it. Escape. You can escape me to forever, honey. I escape at any moment of any time. But you want to put your scape in where you're really going to sit down and you're going to enjoy it all the way. Woo! And with that, let's get into some Q&A with some TNA. All right, let's see what we got for today. Dear Juju, how do you cope when life throws you a curveball and something unexpected happens, good or bad? Honey, this is great. I've been thrown some curveballs in this life. Those are not the balls that you want in your face, honey. You know, it's life. That's what's going to happen. Curveballs come. You got to learn to dodge them. You actually don't dodge them. What you do is you go with them. The only way to go through hell is to go through it. Now, I have a very big, huge spiritual practice. So I lean on people like Joe Dispenza or A Course in Miracles or Abraham Hicks or Bashar. Like, there's not a spiritual new ageness that I'm not into that I will not get something from. Deepak Chopra, Oprah, like the whole Hay House situation, Dr. Wayne Dyer. I am obsessed with spirituality. And as I was beating my mug today, I was listening to Marianne Williamson, whatever her name is, as she was doing a speech of A Course in Miracles. Let's talk about the latest two curveballs. One was hard and one was good. I put my dear Juju, we put this pitch deck all together and we sent it out to one of the top agencies here in Los Angeles. They got back to me and they said, you need to focus on socials, and when you have 1 million followers, we'll talk. I saw that as a closed door, but not to that's it. And that doesn't mean that the show's ever happening altogether. I thought, oh, it's not either the right time or they're not the right people. But what am I hearing? Focus on socials. Focus on socials. This is the way the world is going, right? So I took it as God speaking to me from their lips, because the only mouth God has is man's mouth. Okay. And telling me to kind of lean in that direction, take that direction on, because I was very resistant to it as well. And I was like, that's it. Gonna dust myself off. Oh, you want Dear Juju on socials? Honey, she gotta be on socials. And then I used it as a positivity and a challenge and a new adventure and kind of going in that direction. So everything in your life is seen as positive. There is the Hay House lady, I forget her name. She has something where she says, only from this experience can good come to me, right? And it doesn't mean if it's good or if it's bad. Another curveball that was thrown to me that seemed bad at the time, but ended up being the best blessing in the world, was my fiance cheating on me after 6 years and planning our wedding. This was my nieces and nephews' uncle. They grew up with him for those 6 years. He was very close to my family. And then after he asked me to marry him in front of all my friends and family, we came home. And 6 months later, he was acting really weird. And one day I said, you know what? If people think that the grass is greener on the other side, they should just fucking hop the fence. Honey, he went white. And I said, oh, what just happened to you? And I just knew it instinctually in my gut. He took some time. He came back and he told me that he cheated on me. That was the end of that relationship, honey. I ain't Beyonce, and he definitely ain't making Jay-Z money. So that was done. Then that ended up being such a spiritual awakening for me for a year. And a little voice said, within 2 years, you're going to get married. And I said, what are you talking about? My fiance just left me. Within 2 years, you're going to get married. Within 2 years, you're going to get married. I said, what are you talking about? No, I didn't say, no, I'm not. But I said, okay, we'll see, little inner voice. We were supposed to get married 10/10 of 2015. I got married 11/10 of 2017. To the absolute love of my life, the big swinging dick, spiritually, the man of my dreams, okay? And boy, when life throws you a curveball, you just catch it and throw it right back to them and say, thank you. So when life throws me curveballs, I really go into a spiritual, deeper meaning. Sometimes I be pulling out too deep a meanings of everything. But to me, there's a deeper meaning in everything. So I really use that to kind of work for my healing, work for my good. What good can I come of this situation? I could either be more spiritual. I could either be more aware of this kind of blindsided me. Because the next thing I thought was, I knew it with my fiance. I broke up with him a couple times, and he said, he kind of manipulated me into thinking, you have daddy issues and you're just not ready to let someone love you. And here I am giving you all this love. And then I thought, fuck, maybe that is it. But you know what? It wasn't. He had a gut, and it just wasn't it for me. And I said, okay, I can love you if I squint a little bit. And I was very attracted to him creatively. And it was someone that should have just been a best friend, but it kind of got a little distorted and warped. So I was like, okay, no one's going to warp me again. You know, I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to set boundaries. Like, there's always something that you can learn. So when a curveball comes, think, one, what are they saying? What are they saying to me? What is my inner voice saying? What am I trying to say to myself? If you take everything as a meaning and a direction of your life in a positive way, in a growth way, in a spiritual way, honey, let all them balls come at your face, okay? Only good can come from this situation from me. That's how I deal with the curveballsness. And we have some news that hopefully I'll be able to tell you next week or the week after that's kind of on the precipice of coming out, that has to deal more with my husband than me, but it still deals with me because it's our family, and it's kind of our family taking a new direction, if you will. And when I heard about it, I said, yes! Yes! Because to me, when there's big swings of trajectories of like, you were going this way and now you're going this way and now you're going this way, to me, it's an invisible hand kind of scooching you, going, hey, bitch, come here. You ain't going to do this, so I'm going to do this. The chips are over here. And I'll never forget when I got called to choreograph a commercial in New Zealand. I remember I felt that same invisible hand. It's a feeling. It feels like he's going like this, or she. Or it's definitely not a woman, sorry, because otherwise, if we lost weight, we wouldn't lose weight in our tits first. Am I right? Rude. Whatever that being is, that invisible universal hand pushing you somewhere. And when I went to New Zealand to choreograph this commercial, I felt that invisible hand, and it was just smushing me and my husband right together. So this news that hopefully I'll be able to announce soon also feels like an invisible hand kind of scooching me and pushing me, and me going, okay, I'll go over here. All right. Here I go. I don't know what for. I don't know why. I don't know anything, but I am open, honey. Legs open. Spread wide open to the universe. Come on in. So long story long, that's how I deal with curveballs. Never met a ball I didn't like, honey. Dear Juju, I've been following you for a few years now, and I absolutely adore your content. Oh my God, thank you. I noticed when I first started following you, you had a couple thousand followers. Now when I look, I can't believe how many followers you have, almost 50,000. How did you grow your audience in such a short amount of time? I'm going to keep it real. Remember the story? This actually correlates. This is perfect. Remember the story that I just said that the agents were like focused on socials, and I said, bitch, I'm going to focus on socials. So there's a few things that I have learned. 1, use trending audio. 2, make content that's easily shareable. So every once in a while, I would think of a fun gag or like an idea or something that was hilarious to me, and I would make a piece of content out of it where I'm like, if I feel this way, I'm sure other people do too. Most of my stuff being about like mom or dressing a certain way and being his fabulous main character energy that goes with my brand and ethos. Then I would create little videos of that basically people sent each other, and that went on like wildfire. My come with me videos where I go out in the world. I went to Home Depot, I went to IKEA, I went to Trader Joe's, and it really was my comedy chops because I am a comedian. Some people love to laugh, and it's funny being at Trader Joe's and putting pears on my forehead and it looks like a pair of balls. So that is something that I would say. Think of shareable things that are quick and easy, put trending audio with it, and then they'll catch fire. And then you have to post at least 3 times a week. None of my stuff is bought. This is what it is. And it goes up and it goes down. And because it's a natural, organic audience, sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. I am like below 50,000. I've also taken about a month and a half off for the summer. Stay true to your brand and then find, because sometimes like I have a show, right? Which is Dear Juju, which is the domestic goddess, the naughty Martha Stewart meets the new Lucille Ball kind of vibe. But sometimes that doesn't always translate directly to what social media likes. And what social media likes is, for me, is funny, glamorous content. And then I put trending audio with it and bye. And it's like, going with your gut, going with your dreams, all that kind of stuff. I've really found my voice online. The cooking, cocktails, and decor stuff, they actually don't really love as much as they love the quick comedy and glamour stuff. So even though it's just a piece of what my show is, I've been able to kind of fragment that piece through doing. You got to do, honey, just do all over the internet. And that's what it feels like, that there's just a bunch of doo-doo on the internet. But it's not about social media. It's not about internet. Like, for a long time, I really made it about like, oh my God, I'm an artist. What am I saying to my audience? What am I projecting? Who gives a shit, honey? Be funny, be quick, try things, make it new. And when you don't care and you just keep going and you're having fun and you're inspired, that also gives a kind of light and gives like an effervescentness to your vibe. Shit, the rat's nest is coming down again. Come on, girl. Stay up. So yeah, that's what I would say. I grew it from 5,000 followers to, let's say, 50. I'm a 1,000 shy of 50. That's what? 8-fold, something like that, 9-fold, and it's been a year. It's actually been a year. Last year. Wow. It was last year since one of the biggest agencies said focus on social media, and I did. And I'm really proud of that. I think even though people probably look at it and go, you have 45,000 followers, there's people with 45 million that I've never even heard of. You're a nobody. But for me, I'm really proud of the work that I'm doing, because it's not about the end result, right? It's not about the numbers. It's not about that. It's going, oh, I'm getting really good at like putting myself out there, starting a podcast, taking those clips, putting it out, because I have my motherhood and I need to balance it with more content. So it's just about doing. Find your niche, find what people respond to, then keep emulating that, because basically they're telling you what they want. And then every once in a while, if you need to do something for you, do that. But kind of give them what they want, give a little algorithm what they want, and then do something for you. Give them what they want, give the algorithm what they want, and then do something for you. And that seems to be a perfect trifecta of how I can give my audience what they want and show a different side of me. I can give the algorithm what they want, a quick little trending audio, something that goes viral, and then I can do what I genuinely care about. That's when it's for me. Mel said it best. Mel Robbins, I think her name is. Social media is not for your friends. It's not for your family. If you're into business, into starting something and getting something going, it's a place to put your dreams and aspirations, period. It's a place to show the world what you can do. And I don't care if it gets 1 like or 1 million. It feels so good and you feel so prideful being creative and putting it out there. And then you got to do the spiritual work on releasing the outcome. Trust me, honey, we all still doing that. I'll tell you what the outcome of all of us is: in the grave. So who gives a shit? Just have fun and try and go. Okay? I hope that helps. That's all we have time for today. Honey, do some whipped ricotta and look online at this fridge scaping, y'all. It'd be crazy. And hopefully within the next coming weeks, I can tell you the news. Wear some feathers today and be fabulous. Don't forget that you are a star. You're a star. Look in the mirror and go, hey, how are ya? I'm a star. I love you and I'm out. Mwah!